faster. The land may become desolate even faster if you eat too many beans, so be careful. And of course the cows have to go too, because we know how bad the cows pollute the earth through their methane producing gases. So if you enjoy a good hamburger, you had best stock up and find a good freezer and a good generator, because you're going to need it when the collapse comes and the power goes out, and you don't want all your hamburger to thaw out and spoil. So it's time, I think, with the stock market doing what it's doing, and the politicians doing what they're doing, I think it's time that maybe you should stock up on just a few necessities. You don't need to stock up on everything, just what you really need to survive. It probably wouldn't hurt. Oh, maybe all this spending and these stimulus packages and all the money that they're printing off these printing presses, maybe that's going to solve all of our problems. Maybe if they just keep printing more money, if they just keep printing enough money, it'll solve every problem that we have in this country. And I think if that's going to solve our problem, I think what they ought to do is they should build another printing press somewhere and start churning out even more money. And I mean, if that's what's going to solve all our problems, they might as well. I mean, they don't even need a printing press anymore, do you? All you need is a computer and a 0 and a 1, and you can create as much money as you want. And voila, poof! Just like Jannes and Jambres resisted Moses and resisted the truth. Do you know who Jannes and Jambres are? No, they were magicians. They were magicians who thought that they ought to rule instead of the one whom God had appointed to rule. God gave Moses a law. Jannes and Jambres had their own law. They didn't like Moses' law, so they wanted to create a new law. So what happened to them? Well, the only thing that happened to them was the earth opened up and swallowed them, and no one ever saw them again. So, in time, the earth is going to open its mouth, and it's going to swallow us. It will. This can't go on for much longer. I just don't see it happening. So, my advice is just stock up on food, something you might need to survive on for a couple of weeks, just in case money becomes worthless and the guy who hauls the food to your local grocery store decides that it's not worth his effort to haul the food to your local grocery store because money's worthless, because there's so much of it that you need $1 trillion in order to put a tank of gas in your truck. I don't know what's going to happen. I don't claim to be a prophet or a seer. I just read a lot, and I know that there's crooks in power, and I know that their goal is to accomplish the destruction of the middle class in America. That's all I know. I don't know how they're going to do it. I don't know how soon they're going to do it. I don't know if God's going to let them do it. I think that's up to us. I honestly believe that's up to us as the people. If we forsake the truth, we're going to get exactly what we deserve. If we come back to the truth, and we listen to the truth, and we start following the truth, and obeying the truth, then maybe there's a chance for this country. We may not become desolate. We may not become without inhabitant. And things could change. Who knows? Things might get better. You never know. It all depends on the choices that people make. And I know that the people in Washington, they've made their choice. They're not, trust me, they're not going to change their mind. They're not going to listen to anyone tell them what they're doing wrong. They're not going to listen to anybody tell them what they need to do. They're going to proceed to rob, steal, confiscate, whatever they can get away with. Trust me, they're going to continue to do it. They haven't accomplished their goal yet, which is the complete domination of the country and the economy. As long as they haven't completed their goal, they're not going to stop working toward it. They're not going to suddenly have a change of heart and suddenly feel sorry for all of us. No, that pity and compassion and concern for the poor and all that kind of stuff doesn't really enter into their equation. You have to follow the money. If you remember that, then you know how the New World Order works. You know how the world system works. And not until someone comes along and puts a stop to what they're doing will they stop doing what they're doing. You understand that? That's not going to happen. So, it may take, if things continue to go down the path they're going, as a believer in the resurrection of my Lord and Savior Jesus, I know that this world is passing away anyway, and that most likely the only way things are ever going to change is when He returns to the earth in the open, in His physical form, in His resurrected body, and He physically takes command over the earth and what's going on in this world. Of course, everybody that doesn't believe the truth thinks we're all a bunch of Looney Tunes, and that's fine, because you can always you can always accept the New World Order that the elites want you to have. They don't believe they don't want Jesus to come back either. I don't know that they don't believe that He's going to come back, but they don't want Him to come back because it'll spoil their game. It'll ruin the whole show. So they're hoping that he delays his return for many a decade, in order so that they may impoverish us and enrich themselves. Of course, that's always been the dream of the rich and powerful. So nothing has changed. Just more bad news in the markets today. I'm not a financial expert or financial analyst. I don't give out advice in that regard, but I do know that if they accomplish their goal and are able to debase our currency to the point to where it's almost worthless, that it's most likely we'll see a rash of really high inflation, and it will disrupt the supply chain for a while. So it's best to stock up. And I wouldn't worry as much about global warming as I would worry about where our food is going to come from in a few months. So whether or not we're going to have an economy in a few months, and the infrastructure is going to be able to operate. Could be a few months, could be a few years, could be 10 years, could be a decade. It's hard to say. I believe that there is hope. I always believe that. I believe that people may wake up, but only if they are willing to hear the truth. So, as always, I remain yours. Peace. I'm the New World Order.